everyone, it's Shirley, and for today's video, I'm going to be redrawing gay comics with my own OCs. So I'm basically taking gay comics that I like and then putting in my own characters instead. The reason I'm doing this video is because I want to start making a webcomic, but I'm still trying to figure out a style that I'm comfortable with doing. So I thought this would be a good way to practice, because all the layouts and formats have already been figured out, so I can work on the line art and speech bubbles and colors without worrying about plot. So this first set here is based on these comic panels from the comic Runaways, the one done by Rainbow Rowell and Chris Anka, and it's based on the characters Nico and Carolina. This try of doing the comics is basically my first time drawing their faces and having them interact with each other. So while I don't think these are like their final designs, it's helped me figure out color schemes a little better and expressions. So I know part of making comics is you have to kind of cut some corners in your style or else you'll never get it done. So some of the corners I chose to cut for this one include not coloring in the line art, and then doing pretty simplified shading. And then because drawing eyes makes me very happy, I decided I would still let myself put like full effort and quality into the eyes. So this is how the first one turned out. So for the next set of panels, I chose to do a study from the Life is Strange comics, which are by Emma Vicelli, Claudia Leonardi, and Andrea Iso. If you couldn't tell from some of my previous videos I've made, I like Life is Strange a lot, and these comics continue from one of the endings you can get in the game. I like how I did the hair in this one. It feels a little more natural, also the expressions here. For this one I tried to solidify my color palette a little better, so now it's mainly based in browns and tans, and then our accent is like a really desaturated blue. It has a very dark academia fantasy aesthetic, so I didn't want it to be too bright. And this is how it turned out. So this is the last set of panels I referenced. It's based on Princess Ever After by Katie O'Neill. I actually haven't read this one yet, but I've read some of their other work, such as The Tea Dragon Society, which is really good. I highly recommend it. The art style is so beautiful, and it's really cute. This one took me the longest out of all of them to make because it had more panels, more expressions, and more angles to play around with. Part of why it took me longer also was I used much thinner lines than what I usually do. Figuring that stuff out can take a while for me, since line art is the longest part in my process. For coloring, I made myself a little color palette based on the previous panel because I liked how that one turned out. I think this challenge was a good practice for me, and I'm feeling much more confident about actually starting the comic I wanted to make. I'll have to get a lot of experience in backgrounds since I struggle with that, but I'm looking forward to seeing how I improve over this comic I make. So this is how those panels turned out. Overall, I think doing this challenge helped me a lot in being more comfortable making comics. It's not as daunting as I thought it was. It's definitely more time-consuming than I thought it might be, but I'm happy with how it turned out, and it doesn't feel so impossible anymore. This won't be the last you see of these characters. They are very near and dear to my heart, and I may or may not have an update coming up in the not-too-distant future about their story, so I'm looking forward to that. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!